Yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, ma'am. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening again. For those of you who were listening before and watching us, we would like to apologize for that break in transmission. It was something that I grew up listening to when I was young. We would like to apologize for the break in transmission. Did we know we were going to be in the same position almost how many years after? And even when you think you have your own system sorted out, your own power, your own water, your own everything, you know.
I've seen situations where the apologies came 6 times during a 1-hour show.
6 times.
6 times during a 1-hour show. We apologize. We kept apologizing 6 times. I would never forget. Yeah, 6 times.
Wow.
And so we had to regulate how again you train not to use apologies all the time. Well, people are not fools. They see all these things. So you're another Shola. We have to apologize.
And if you're just joining us for the very first time, not to worry. All of that, concern you. So what it is the boombar right here on your Boom Radio NG, and it's the Legends series. And anytime we say legend, we don't play around, man. We know how to pick them, we know how to get them, and they always come through. So the man they call Tokunbo Ojekunle, who is also a legend himself.
No. Legends do themselves.
So you are Guinness, you're not legend.
Copyright.
It's 3 adverts for them.
Guinness Book of Records.
Guinness Book of exactly. Okay. You see? I like I said earlier.
Okay.
The tallest broadcaster I know.
Agbauchere.
Agbauchere. You see?
This is Oshiri.
Hey, now that's what you are now.
That's what you are.
I'm not Oshiri.
Sorrow.
Okay. Sorry, Oshere no ni.
It's not about me today. Yeah, it's not. Come
But
on.
I've seen.
Come on.
I saw the album that you released now. You are actually a performing artist.
Exactly that.
You saw the.
So Agba Oshere ni.
We did it together.
Yes.
We did the album together.
Yes.
We launched the album together.
So, of course, the man they call Tokunbo Ojekunle always in the building because it's his building.
Yeah.
And
Thank you, Shola, for the honor. And you make me sound great and younger again anytime I'm with you.
you are, and you will always be forever young.
Amen.
Always.
Amen.
Of course, today is not about Tokunbo, it's not about Shola Rogers or any of that. We have in building, in house, in studio, live in living color.
Wow.
The man. I was going to say the man, the instrument, and the music.
And the music.
Wow.
But guess what? The man is the instrument, and he is the
Yes.
music.
Yeah.
So we have him here, live in living colors, the one and only Oluseyi
Wow.
Seyi
Thank you.
Solagbade. Deliberately, I put the Oluseyi there because
God
that
bless you.
is what it is. And of course, a lot of people know him simply as Seyi Solagbade. And Seyi Solagbade, thank you for coming through.
It's a pleasure being here,
Thank
be
you so
around you guys. I mean, in fact, I'm so blessed to see you again.
Thanks for blessing us with your presence. And of course, yes, we are definitely diving right into it. We, of course, are telling you that you can also catch this. We're streaming live on YouTube and Facebook. You can be a part of it. Shoot us a message. Let us know if you have any questions or contributions or anything whatsoever. We are here for you. We're ready to, talk to you about that. But let's just dive right into it. And the reason why we're doing that is because we started something that lasted about 10 or 12 minutes. And in that process, Seyi Solagbade was telling us how he wants to be addressed, how he would rather be addressed.
Yeah.
Let's take it from there.
Yes, I said Seyi of a thing is an ordinary layman kind of stuff, that people will just, okay, this is Seyi is ordinary name. But I decided to change this something when I realized, like I said, that most of the things that I do myself, with my own ideas, doesn't really work out the way I think it should be, you know. But until when I realized that, look, you cannot go anywhere without me. There's this particular, supernatural, presence of God with me. I usually tell me, okay, you're a peculiar person. I've already marked you. Yeah, for me, you know. That is when I realized that, okay. And when I decided to follow that path, and everything was just smooth, good, and it's this kind of, happiness is the most important thing in life, you know. So, and it's this part of release, peace around me. So I love that. So I decided to call myself Oluseyi, and yeah, and it's very, very, very cool. When you said Oluseyi, you know, instead of Sheyi doesn't have so lot of meaning, you know, but it is God that did this for me.
So if you don't understand, in Yoruba language, Oluseyi means God did this. It's God that did it. There's a song that's trending globally now.
Yeah.
It's a very long song. It's a rap song. It's about 8 minutes long, by DJ Khaled.
Yeah, yeah.
And the title of that song is God Did.
Exactly.
God did.
Oluseyi.
That's your name.
Yeah.
God did.
That's the power of language.
That's it.
And culture.
And
Culture.
if
Yeah.
you listen to the story behind that, you understand really and truly God did.
Exactly.
So for those of you who still are on the fence about God, well, we
Yeah.
pray that you see the light.
Is earlier the better.
Yeah, the interesting thing, Chola, you brought up now is that name is synonymous to almost everybody's story in life.
Yes.
He did for me.
Yeah.
And he did for you. God
Oh yes.
Exactly.
Oh yes. Oh
Yes.
yes.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's interesting.
It's very interesting.
Any history behind the name that you recall?
Yeah. My mother told me a particular story that when she got married to my father, you know, she was so desperate looking for a male child, you know. She had one male before me, and that one, she didn't spend more than maybe 2 months or 3 months, I think, and he left. And she was so devastated with that. So, and for another man to come now, come be wahala, you know, and he was just praying and praying and praying. The next issue was a female, and the next one was female again, and still, and you know, I came from a polygamic family, so and my dad was a clergyman, and she has, you know, all these white Ghanaian people, you know, they usually have numerous wives, you know. So I was able to come out of that. So then later, at the end of the day, she now gave back to me, and I was so happy, and now call it Oluwaluseyi. You know, Oluwaluseyi live for me, you know, even for long, you know, stayed for more than, let's say, more than 10 years before she now realized, okay, God has finally given me a male child, you know.
So that's how the name Oluwaseyi came. Tokunbo, you want to take it from there?
Yes, every good thing, you know, must have a good beginning.
Yeah.
Let's look at it from that point.
Yeah.
And when you were actually talking, I was playing a kind of reverts, capturing that essence.
Yeah.
And I knew then and up until now that men and their families are usually very keen on the male child.
Exactly. At that particular time,
Yeah,
you know.
at that time.
You know.
And if it's not happening to you as a woman, you are almost left out.
Exactly.
So it's that actually got me.
Exactly.
Now you hit something which was under the carpet, and I'm going to pull it out.
Okay.
You actually come from a church-believing family.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would I be right to say you grew with some of the songs there, or because of your frequency in the church, instrumentations and voices took over from that point for you?
I can say yes. But when I started in the church as a choir boy. You know, I discover myself, I discover my talent in the church. Then, what made it so easy for me, or easier for me, is that most of the musical instruments they were using in the church, we are in my possession. You know, I have easy access to everything. So, most of the time, I spent my time inside the choir, doing one or two things, playing one or two things, with instruments. So that gives me this kind of, bonus link for me to be able to develop myself perfectly well, even before the word saying it. You know, I remember when I started playing music professionally. Even the first day I started playing music, I started professionally.
You started playing professionally.
I'm telling you.
I can describe you as a talent developed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that day, I remember, that was 1983. You know, I was so young. I was just like 10 years old, 11, 10, you know. And my dad came up with and told us, we're having an outing, you know. We only have this kind of Awuja amplifier, just 3-point amplifier.
I remember the Awuja amplifiers.
Yes. Then we have this Akuba and 3 conga with the bass, drums, those ensembles, you know. Those are the only instruments we use then. So I played 3 conga. My older brother also played Akuba and with other man like this. So, you know, I told her that we have to go to this particular area. Our church must perform there, you know. So I said, okay, no wala, let's go down. Everybody go. But our choir master then, they refused to go with us for that show, and they just left the church premises and walk away. And my dad said, no. We will go there, we will just play the drums, and everybody will be dancing.
Take over.
Then who is going to sing? Just
let's go.
He just packed every one of us inside the car and let's go. And we went there. When we got there, I was now saying, when we are not this kind of people that do
just be beating the drum.
Alan and Joe kind of people, you know. So I kind of playing drums and not singing.
Yeah.
And I told my brother, I said, you see, I'm going to sing. Everybody looked at me like this and said, wow. Are you out of your mind? You this small boy. I was the smallest then. So I just pick up the microphone. We only have one microphone anyway. Pick up the phone and I was just singing. That was how it is. And all the audience was
that the song you sang?
Yes.
Okay.
That was the song. That was the song. I can't forget.
And the drums took over.
They just started playing the music. Everybody was there. Even the people that are doing the party were so amazed. See, this small boy, you know, he just came in and they spray us with a lot of money, you know. And then when we calculated the money, it was around 3 naira or like
that time.
Yes, 3 naira or 5 something, yeah.
But
so I was so
around what year was this?
That was 1983.
83, sir.
83?
Yeah.
I'm asking for emphasis.
Yes.
I wanted for emphasis.
1983 June. I think around June.
Wow.
You get my point? So, and since then, when we now got home, my dad looked at me like this and said a particular word. He just looked at me and said, hey, you better get ready. And stand up get ready. That was what he said. Stand up and get ready. Get ready for what? I just look at it and say, okay, this man, and I walk away. And since then, from that day on, things always having this kind of avenue to work with professionals, musicologists. Since that day, they were just coming from every corner to back me up.
Was it like they were giving you opportunities?
No, I need you to move closer to his microphone.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Were they okay? Were they coming for you, coming up to you to be part of their band or to?
No, not to be part of the band. There is this kind of situation we just, spring up from nowhere, meeting myself in the midst of, professionals, constantly happening, working with professionals, musicologists, and, brushing up my musicianship, and it was so rampant, by the time, by the 1990, I've already, producing albums.
7 years after.
Not even 7 years. Let's say from 1987, started producing records, albums for church.
I recall
leading.
one, was it Blackface or something?
And Blackface even came
later,
the early 90s.
So you were more into gospel?
I was more into gospel music
when you started.
When I started, I did up to 3 albums before 1990.
Wow.
Yeah.
Within the space of that 1983 to 1990.
Yeah.
3 albums.
3 albums for church, which I lead the album. And after that 1990, I just decided just to move on, try to do something more creative because of the ideas and the experience that being introduced into, by some, musicologists, people that really knows about music, then it's not about talent alone. It's different from this generation. They only built on talent and more, packaging and stuff like that. But this one, you must know music. You must understand what you want to play. When you are brought up, 70s, let's say 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, you must understand music. You can't just play any music because you won't be fitting. You don't understand, because we have a lot of professionals around who understand, who knows the nitty-gritty of that particular stuff you're doing. So it's not a child's play. You get my point? So that really gives me this kind of edge for me to be able to solidify my musicianship.
Interesting. I'm a little bit curious though, because I look back at those times as well, and as radio personalities, which we could also identify raw talents. However, I feel like asking you, in those days, must you really go through serious tutelaging to understand the basics of music, or decide to go to a school or institution to study?
As a musician, let me just try to run it. As a musician, you need to be well equipped. You must have the knowledge, not because of anything, but because of relevance. For you to be relevant, music must be a futuristic thing, not a seasonal thing. You do understand? When season comes and goes. But when you are futuristic, when your music is futuristic, you'll be able to meet up to trends. Anything change, you are there. Anything change, you are there. But if you don't understand it, if you don't know it, then I thought it was just this kind of talent thing. Let me just sing. because I so much have this kind of belief in my voice, because that is my instrument. I major in voice, and I so much have that confidence in it. Then, even now, even if you are like a Jackson or whatever you call yourself, as you are a singer, I just look at you and say, I appreciate you. I appreciate your stuff, But when it comes to singing, my brother, you can't rubbish me. I know that, I always put that thing at the back of my mind, But then, we usually look for a standard. We go for standard, After finish my secondary school, a professor woke up to me and said, "Oh, look, Seyi, what I can foresee in front of you is bigger than what you're thinking it is. You are not just a musician." And I looked at the person and said, "Oh, Baba, if you listen, let me just do my popular music and let me go." He said no, and the man forced me to go and study music. I'm telling you,
do you remember his name?
Yes, now Wole Adito. He's late now, just late. Dr. Wole Adito. He said you don't have any choice. And he now told one of his friends, which happened to be the first person that gave me this create and one particular opera. My first performance in opera. You understand? It was the first person that first did it. That was 1993, 92, 93, I think. Yeah.
How did that go?
He's now Professor Bodi Omojola.
Professor Omojola.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the guy just saw me and said, "Wow," because he listened to me when I was singing. He said, "Wow, you guy, you sound so crazy." That was how he put it. "You sound so crazy and distinct. I would like to use you for my opera, because it's a very slow person and soft person."
Yeah,
I said, "No, now." See that. So, and he presented me. Then I was the one that led the Odyssey of Our Innocent. We did it with the French government at Joy.
Okay.
Yes. So since then, I have this kind of quest for beautiful music, especially African music. So that was when I decided to go for ethno jazz, something that is more African, something that is more technical, not just a commercial music. I don't play commercial music. Some people may think, "Oh, you're supposed to do commercial now so you can have money," and no. This is about passion. This is about what you believe in. It's not necessary for it. Money is not everything. Although you need money to manage life. But fulfillment and so that's the most important to me.
Now, what exactly would you find as the difference before and after your training?
Wow.
What was Seyi? What were you ready to do? What was the achievement there?
The achievement is very huge to me, because it gives me this kind of confidence. I can stand anywhere to discuss music. I can train anything. Anything to be a professional musician. Not only to just sing. That was the result. That's the result. Assuming I decided to just, be a natural singer or a musician, most of my contemporary have been forgotten, Most of them are still struggling now. Uncle Tokes, I'm still standing, still working out.
Oh yes, you are still standing.
Doing stuff.
Interesting.
You don't understand?
Yes.
So I so much believe in that because because of the knowledge that I've required and I've perceived.
I'm gonna come in there. Seyi Oluseyi. I said that a couple of his contemporaries, they stopped. Some are still there. But yeah, Seyi is still doing music. I'm like, okay. Let us even confirm. Is he even speaking the truth? We're taking a music break, but we're still streaming video, so we're not stopping any of the streams, audio and video. We're going to be playing, this track, Ajakubo.
Wow.
What does Ajakubo mean? Did I pronounce it right?
Yes, Ajakubo. Ajakubo means garage. Sober reflection. I wrote the music 2 years ago, when this end of
that was during the lockdown into NSAS and all that.
of the thing,
Yeah.
When we're having different kind of something. So I need to, music is more powerful than the weapon than even this your AK-47. You can use them to achieve something great. I don't think you think it is. So I try to put it together, the way I felt that particular time, just to give people to know that you need to open up your eyes, be wise.
Open up your eyes and be wise. A wise man once said, music is the weapon.
Exactly.
Listen to this weapon, Ajakubo by Seyi Solagbade. Thank you, Tokunbo. Oluwa Tokunbo.
Shola, forgive you. I don't even know what to say.
Ajakubo, Kubo, yeah. Ajakubo, Kubo, oh yeah. Ajakubo, Kubo, yeah. Everybody now sing. Wake up. Ajakubo, yeah. What is it? Every now and then, why would you anything better?
Wow.
And if I so good, they come again. As one leaves, another comes in the same disguise. Ajakubo, yeah. Ajakubo, yeah. Everybody wake up from your slumber. Open your eyes. Money no day. Pocket no better. For country, everything hadi, ewa kawi. The promised land. Oh, kò sí, ọmọ kò jẹun, gbogbo ìbá kó bá wọlé, kí tẹ̀sẹ̀, kí ẹwà o, iná máa ti ràn. There is fire on the mountain. Everybody run. Stand up and speak out. Better no day. We don't tire. Which can life beneath for this country?
Okay. Let's go back.
What the people. Oh, ẹ jọ̀wọ́ owó yẹn dà o. Show us dividends on democracy. Iná ò sí, ọ̀nà wa ò dáa. Every business ó bá wọlé, kí dẹ̀ ṣe kí ẹ wà o. Iná máa ti rà ìbàdàn. Oh yeah, yeah. Ajakubo. Hey. Everybody now stand up and speak out. The promise of the Savior, for they are not for the traitor. They come with greed and pain. Hey, all the name of democracy. Hey, the soldier can someone could see security. Hey, on the way, reshape.
Oof. You know, I was gonna play something back, and I grew up with lyrics.
Yeah.
I grew up loving lyrics,
Yeah.
and some lyrics make you cry,
Yeah.
and some lyrics will keep you in a state of pondering for a long time.
Yeah.
But I juxtapose a little bit of difference. When the music to sell the hard lyrics are being conceptualized or put together, they are even sweeter sometimes. And I think what you guys have done over time is to give us hard lyrics to talk about society and things we're going through, and give us lovely music to complement.
It.
And so we're almost annoyed yet not too annoyed because something
Just to
is
keep this spirit.
yeah, I don't know if that flows with you or most of your words.
Exactly. What I usually do is that, you know, even if I want to tackle any issues, I try to marry the two together to be able to put it into the straight level, not to create this kind of tension. Even in the midst of tension, still look for another element to be able to calm it down, for people to be able to reason and see the truth. Because music can create violence. In this kind of piece of music, you know, if I have to go deep into it, I will be confrontational, stepping on their toes, but still saying the truth and using this kind of, we call it piano, soft kind of redeeming pattern into the lyrics. Definitely once you're listening to it, you even forget that you are, it is your enemy that is trying to point a finger at you, you know. Still listen to the music and still feel it. At the end of the day, you have been should get scope, but you still.
But the message has been passed.
That has been passed. It won't create any grudges or whatever. So that is the way it is, you know. That was one of the benefits that you asked of me, you know. It was be able to identify it, feel it, separate it. You know. I usually say this to my young ones. You know, 3 things makes a good musician. Talent, which is what you have inside you. Second, sense of creativity. Third, sense of application. How do you perceive it? How can you put it together to sound right? That is how it's supposed to be. That makes you relevant. With God's grace, or anyway.
Yeah, with God's grace, I'm going to ask you this, and you are here to answer questions. Right? I shouldn't go over that again. When you started off, did you go into it? Yeah, you've actually answered that, but I wanted to find out, how did you cope with not bringing out commercially relevant songs and still stay afloat with it, because somehow we saw Oluseyi rise, and I thank God for that. And I look back those beautiful years, I thank God for that. But you have maintained and retained and still be consistent. Many have fallen beside, not dying, but they walked off it because probably the money was not coming and all that.
The way you think it.
What kept you going in all of this?
First of all, I try to discipline myself. This thing has been my policy. I don't allow myself to be distracted by any success around me. Okay, maybe I see one of the people or see some guys who started behind me moving a flash, to start them as soon. I don't move with clouds, no. I stayed focused, although it was difficult. Things were so hard. The money flow was not that. If you really want to, greatness has nothing to do with money or possession or power. Greatness has to do with what you can offer, the goodness in you, able to offer your race. You understand what you can implement, how you can change people positively. I stand on my feet. I do my thing. I always keep focused. I'm not so distracted with so many things, and any little thing I see, I try to make good use of it, because if I try to use it anyhow, it will bounce back. You don't understand? So it will put me in an area for me to be begging. So I don't do that. Even when I'm sinking, you can't see it in my eyes. You can't see it. You don't understand? So I stand without a good thing, and it works. It works. That's why I said happiness is the most important for you. Once you this is what you believe in, and it keeps you going. That is it.
Happiness is the most important thing, Seyi Solagbade said, and it seems to have a whole lot of quotes. It's the kind of interview that you want to go back to watch again and pick out things, And of course, we all know that we're all affected by, life itself. Everything is happening in and around us.
Absolutely.
And at times people assume that because you're in front of the camera, you're in front of the microphone, you're immune to those same things that they go through. But breaking news, we're all the same. We all feel these things too.
Exactly.
The only advantage is that people like you would use it as a source of inspiration, to send out a message and also help people how things let them not fall or walk a certain path. Now you've been performing for 39 years.
Yeah. It will be 40 years next year.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'll do something.
Yeah, you're welcome. You see, I had to put the number out for him so that he would know. You've been performing for 39 years.
Yeah.
You've seen the evolution of music.
Yes.
From the analog to the digital.
Absolutely.
From the acoustic to the not so acoustic and the in between. And I come from a place where, and when I say a place, it's not a physical place. I come from a place where we recognize that for every good there is bad, or for every bad there's good. People go off about, oh, this is bad. No. For me, I'm like, look, there's good there. There's good there. So our focus, especially at Boom Radio, is on positive messages, positive things. Yes, look, people, there's more money to be made from bad news.
Yes.
If we were releasing all the bad stories that we have,
Yeah.
we'll be buzzing.
Exactly.
But that's not what we are about. We're in for the long haul. So we would like to ask you, going through the progressions, can you walk us through that process? You talked about when you first performed, even if it was not what you expected. I remember Femi Kuti had said something once about how Fela sent him to go and perform when the government stopped Fela from traveling to America.
Yeah.
And Femi didn't know he was going to perform to Fela's crowd. And he did. The reason why that happens is because your father also knew that you had the talent already. He already saw it.
Yes.
But of course, he didn't know about the singing part. He didn't know that was going to come. I think that's divine. Now, I'm taking too much time. But the reason why I've done that is I want you to walk us through the journey of music from your perspective in Nigeria. From the days when you had the 3 congas and 1 bass drum or 1 set drum or whatever to today.
Yeah.
Can you walk us through what you've experienced?
I can.
Studio, live, everything.
I can. 1984, 84, I had an opportunity to share a stage with Orlando. And also there's this man we called Elimuri. And at this so with my church, I was still young, but I so much believe in. Then we play high life music, Church music then was so superb to an extent that most of the musicians, we still have that kind of stuff now, because most of the musicians that play outside the church, in fact, emancipated from the church. So you see most of them in the church right now, all this Pentecostal stuff, they hire them, give them money. Even in the 17th century, 20th century, 14th century, when the Church of England started bringing up, they paid them, you understand, to play good music, all those Beethoven anthems and stuff like that, and that thing is a trend, continue changing, it's in a different form, it's still the same thing. So I had this opportunity to share stage with known musicians then, and our church is just, let's say, 10-man choir, with just few small kids who are doing their thing and all stuff like that. So they not told us to wait for those big artists to do their performance. When those people are doing their stuff, you must not interrupt, especially this man,
Orlando.
Elemure,
yeah.
because he's very, this kind of, who has this fetish of a thing, you can't just,
Allegedly. Allegedly.
So, and suddenly when we wanted to, my dad not told us that, okay, we should wait that those people said they want to do their stuff. I didn't know that there's this guy who's playing Akuba for us. He's just trying to play his own thing and just be doing it on private thing. And suddenly I saw the guy playing the Akuba. So I now sit beside him. I took the samba, playing the samba with him. I saw Orlando walking up to us. I started spraying me 50-50 cover.
Wow.
The whole show, we didn't even knew that the whole show has already stopped.
Okay.
Everybody was looking, focusing on those
guys.
2 people.
Wow.
We were just playing, we doing ourselves, and I was singing, enjoying myself. And the guy was just spraying. And he looking at me, he was just spraying the 50-50 combo, sprayed a lot of 50 combo, that was when I now realized that, okay, we've already stolen the show from these people. And my dad was just standing and looking at us like this. You know, and that was it. And since that day, that thing registered something huge into my brain. Don't ever be flinched by any so-called big thing. Just stick to your lane and do your thing. That is it. Every good thing we definitely find its way out. There's nothing you can do to it. It's a power of nature.
Okay. We need Seyi to move closer to the microphone.
Okay.
Or move the microphone closer to you.
I'll move
Draw
it.
a bit.
Yeah.
So, and since
Thank you.
then,
Do your thing and stay in your lane.
and stay in your lane. Every good thing we definitely find its way out, you know. And even before when I started playing music, I studied basic musician, and let's say 5 basic musician. You know, this guy Remi Olabanji.
Oh, okay.
Remi Olabanji in the 70s.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
This world is beautiful, so nice, beautiful. This world is beautiful.
Looking for that song.
That song
nice.
rocked
I've been looking for that
everywhere.
song.
I'm telling you.
Wow, the interludes were something else. That song.
Wow.
The interludes,
The instrumentals.
yeah.
Those are the pioneers of, ethno jazz in this country. Even people are talking about fela. There are crazy musicians on the ground then who are producing serious music. People like Black Man.
Akib
Karim,
Karim.
yeah.
We talked
Yeah.
about him too.
Those guys are wizards, you know. They
Yeah.
do. I studied their music in the
Yeah.
70s.
Yusuf Olatunji.
Yusuf Olatunji, you know, is a pioneer, and is the person that started and Ayuba. You know, you're trying to, keep to the key of the music. You know,
I saw a video.
Okay.
I saw a video of an event in Benin Republic, our neighbors there. And it gladdened my heart and saddened it at the same time. Gladdened that Akbala music is alive in Benin Republic.
Seriously,
Yeah.
even from day one.
Shola, you are right.
It is a massive movement there. But in Nigeria,
Since 70s, they've loved it. They've been playing it,
and they're still playing.
and they're still playing it.
Where did we get it wrong? Like,
It's not that we get it
how come
wrong.
there's no transition or continuation?
There won't be any continuity, because what we really go for is something that is trending. You know, okay, you know, Shelley, what is going on now?
And we just dive into
We
it.
just dive into it. And what we are giving our youths now is a different thing entirely, because their belief is different. They want to make money, they go for commercial music. They are not ready to, okay, this is okay. Get me a good producer. Okay, do beats for me. Let me just sing this song.
Yeah, they just put the beats together.
To construct the music is not their own thing.
They just want to perform.
They just want to perform it. You don't understand. Only the one, the one that is more stronger is this boy, Burna Boy. You know, because he has a very good background. You don't understand. His grandfather was Uncle Benson Idonije.
Yeah.
And a serious jazzist person. So you can see that thing still runs in his blood.
Yeah.
So he can't go for something lesser.
Yeah.
You get my point? So that is the way it is.
Many of us learned through him, by the way.
Yeah.
A broadcaster of his highest quality. Highest quality. So you said you should ask the question now, and you followed up just the way I thought through. But we have not dealt with it.
Yeah, the transition from
The transition.
Yeah.
The transition.
Yes.
Yeah.
You see, the transition cannot be there because
no, not just for Akbala now.
No, okay.
Music production
Okay,
itself.
Music production itself. It's because
You know, you went from the congas to
me, you know, when I started my own music, I started as a percussionist.
Really?
Yes, I started as a percussionist,
No.
as an ensemble player.
That is with the team.
Yes, just playing trikonga, playing something in the church, not even singing. Nobody even knew that I can sing.
Until that first episode. Outside.
Exactly. I just told them, I said, because I've been writing music even before performing. Writing music down, composing songs since 79. And it's because I was building on a talent then.
Okay.
Because I have time for myself. My education was not so, rosy in a way, because I concentrate much on music, arts kind of stuff. So the only thing I think about is you just see me sitting on the tree, because I have one particular mango tree. I know Galva tree behind our house like this. So
Where is that? Where's the home?
in Bariga,
Okay, go ahead, please.
Bariga, because I've grown up there, I'll just sit down there. There's this particular small farm. This small farm like this. I was the one cultivating all those kind of crap, But I just love putting things, Anytime you're looking for me, just come to that place. You see me there.
It's your solitude.
I have small broken piano. Was a toy. I saw it on a refuge park,
Wow.
And I picked it up. It was broken. So there's this particular tuning fork still inside that piano. So I use chewing gum and broom
To hold it together.
So I use that chewing gum, I roll it like a ball, put it on the broom. I was now smashing it as if I'm playing a xylophone.
And the sound was coming out.
It's coming out.
And was getting all the
Perfectly well. I worked on that for good 5 years. 5 or 6 years, was it? You don't understand. That was what I was using. I wrote even Blackface.
Blackface was done with that thing.
Blackface was written 1982.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
1982. I wrote it
1982.
word for word.
That's 40 years ago.
Sound for sound. Each instrument for each instrument.
Can we do an interview in an interview? You're coming back here.
Yeah.
I mean, look, hold it. You wrote Blackface
Yeah.
in 82.
Absolutely.
What motivated you? Because I need to understand.
I told you that
It was revolutionary.
Yes. I told you that I've been listening to some musicians. You get my point. I listen to Ebola Banji. I listen to Yusuf Olatunji. I listen to Fela. Little bit of Fela music. Not everything. Little bit. In fact, to be precise, Kula Lobito.
The ancient fella.
That is it. That only thing I listen to. In fact, I listen. The only one I listen to even is 2-track. Was a 2-track.
The shoe track.
Yes. Ojo toju dere, ojo dodo baro, bodero kokase. Ojo toju ba. Yeah. That particular time, I didn't understand the moods. I did not understand the moods. I was just working with